I know deep down in my heart Real Madrid was gonna win, but I put money on him and I ended up losing 500.
I made my last bet, as I mentioned, on April 27th, 2014. Nearly took my life that night. At that crucial moment, I realized I didn't want to die. My addiction wanted me to die. It was done with me. It had taken everything it could take.
It starts with a game, a score, a simple bet. Today, sports betting is everywhere, on our phones, on social media, even during the games themselves. But for young adults, what feels like harmless fun can quickly turn into something much harder to control. In recent years, sports betting has exploded in popularity. With mobile apps and constant access, placing a bet is easier than ever. For young adults, it has become part of the culture. Watching a game is no longer just about the outcome, it's about what is at stake. And while winning is exciting, the reality behind the losses often goes unseen. One of those young adults is Brian Iglesias, who says what started as harmless entertainment quickly became something more.
So I see sports betting as entertainment because you're betting on something that you want to watch. It's like watching a TV show. They make it dramatic, it's more interesting. Oh, what's gonna happen next? And that's when you make money. There was this one time that I flipped $5 to 500. I know deep down in my heart Real Madrid was gonna win, but I put money on him and they ended up losing the game and I ended up losing 500. As easy the money gets into your hands, it's as easy as it can go out of your hands. Due to technology now, everything's a click away.
What begins as entertainment can slowly shift into a routine, and for some, that routine becomes difficult to break. The pressure to win back losses often leads to even bigger risks. According to Sabine Bomir de Renoncourt, a social worker who works with individuals struggling with addiction, young adults are especially vulnerable.
Online gambling has become a mental health issue. It's highly accessible. It's equal to using any other type of drug that's available in the market. And then because of the promotion that's being done through social media and through influencers, it's normalized. So it's like everybody does it. And it's one of the growing mental health problems for the youth in our country. The likely rate of being suicidal also, it's very, very high. Hotline for gambling, so it's like a hotline, like a suicide line, but for gambling has exceeded the number of calls of people calling for help.
Studies show that young adults are one of the fastest growing groups in sports betting. With easy access and constant exposure, the line between control and dependency continues to blur. For Harry Levant, a gambling addiction advocate who has personally experienced the impact, the consequences can go far beyond financial loss.
My gambling addiction took my brain, my mind, my heart, my soul, my conscience, everything. I ran through all of my money and the money that I could borrow and the money I could convince people to loan to me. And I made my last bet, as I mentioned, on April 27th, 2014. Nearly took my life that night. But at that crucial moment, I realized I didn't want to die. My addiction wanted me to die. It was done with me. It had taken everything it could take.
While some struggle to stop, others have spent decades on the other side of it. But even within the industry, not everyone agrees with where it's headed.
Once you start betting and you win initially, you're hooked. I beat a guy for $20,000 in one day. He bet six games, 3,300 a game, and he lost all 6 games. That was the most I ever won from one person in a day. It shouldn't be legal because it's not good for society. When I was booking, you had to find a bookmaker. You had to know somebody that knew. It was difficult. Today, you go to the grocery store and you can bet. Yeah. In my opinion, they should have never legalized. Because what's going to happen now is these bettors, they start off sort of recreationally, eventually will be addicted. They'll be addicted and then they'll commit some crimes. And they weren't criminals to begin with.
For athletes like Michael Alfonso, the rise of sports betting has brought a kind of pressure, one that goes beyond performance.
Yeah, it can feel like there's some expectations from the fans because obviously they're putting money on you. Athletes already have a hard time if they have a bad performance, and on top of that, they don't need the fans saying mean things to them or threatening them just because they didn't hit a bet. I mean, that's pretty stupid. So I feel like they should be aware and have some respect for the athletes that, you know, if they didn't do well, to give them some space.
As access continues to grow, so do concerns about its impacts. For gambling addiction advocate Harry Levant, the focus now is on preventing harm before it starts.
But the issue isn't really oh, okay, let's wait until you're addicted. We want to prevent harm before it occurs. So what we really need to be talking about, particularly in this new world of online gambling, are what are the warning signs that people should be looking for that, oh, I may be experiencing a problem. Gambling filling an emotional void, needing to gamble with greater amounts of money over time to achieve the level of excitement, using gambling as part of and we're seeing this more and more with particularly young men, but young men and young women, it becomes part of your social framework. One of the big problems with gambling is the harm, so much harm is happening before anyone becomes aware. And I think it's important just to take a second and remind anyone who's listening to this, if you are someone who's struggling with this, with gambling, help is available. Hope can return to you and to anyone who might be in a crisis situation. Because statistically, we know that 1 out of every 2 people who struggle with gambling will contemplate self-harm, and 1 out of every 5 will make an attempt on their lives. This is a mental health issue and a mental health crisis. Gambling is a known addictive product. So what do I say to people? I say, don't suffer in silence. Walk into, if you're a college student, walk into a college counseling center. You don't have to worry on day one, are you being diagnosed with gambling addiction? You're going in to talk about something. Don't keep this secret from your family and your friends.
Hopefully the high schools get more into the prevention also and bring awareness into the school system. We're talking about 11 years old, so we're talking middle school. So you really want to bring awareness before, because you have such a quick access to electronics. You have elementary kids that have phones, and so it's very accessible. And if there is no awareness at home and not in the school, then they're really out there on their own. You do have Gambling Anonymous that provide the services for any other issues that people have, similar to AA and whatnot when it comes to addiction.
A game once driven by competition is now for some shaped by expectation. For many young adults, those expectations don't end when the game is over. For Brian Iglesias, recognizing that reality was the first step toward change.
Future, I do think I will, because I do plan on going on the correct path through my faith. I love the sport no matter what, betting or without betting it.
Sports betting may be part of the game today, but for many young adults, the real gamble is everything they stand to lose.